What's going on at light heavyweight, guys? We've had former champion Yuri pull out because of injury. We then had Jamal come in, become the champion, and now pull out because of injury as well. There's not really that many challenges besides Jan Blachowicz, now Alex Pereira coming up. And now even they're going to fight, and that's not going to be for a title. So is the UFC planning something? Yuri was originally going to come back, supposed to be about July, August. That hasn't happened yet. Are they planning that for UFC 295? Possibly. I think there's something happening where he is going to come back and fight for a title, fight for the title. It's going to be vacant, and I think it's going to be against Ankalaev. Ankalaev, 10-1, 6 first-round knockouts. He's also been on an absolute tear. He's right up there in the rankings. They've obviously now gone, Daniel Cormier came out this week, said he spoke to Mick Maynard, and the Jan Blachowicz, Alexander Pereira fight is not going to be for a title. So is Ankalaev going to be next? Come back to fight Yuri? Are they going to wait for Izzy to go up and fight for a title? I don't think so. We've seen that happen before. If he can't do it against Jan, he's going to be able to do it against someone like Yuri. Are they hoping that Alex Pereira wins? Probably not, because that would have been for a title right now. But I feel like there's something coming, and I can't put my finger on it just yet, but I think the UFC is waiting for Yuri to come back, and then you have Yuri versus Ankalaev for the title, because otherwise you would have just made Jan Blachowicz versus Alex Pereira be for the title. But light heavyweight's in a weird position at the moment because, as I said, there's the injuries to the two champions. Now you've got sort of the clear number one, possibly, in Ankalaev. It's been dead quiet for him. You've got Jan Blachowicz, Alex Pereira. They don't make that for the title. That puts them out. I can't say I'm excited for light heavyweight at the moment, with the state of light heavyweight since John Jones left, because it's injuries and, fighters that have been up in that top 5, top 10 for ages that aren't even really that active. So what are they going to do at light heavyweight? The obvious choice for me was to make Pereira versus Blachowicz for the title. You've got a former champion in Blachowicz. You've got the former 185 champion at Pereira. That opens up a lot of options, particularly if Pereira wins. But even if Blachowicz wins, you've got a rematch for him and Izzy, possibly, to have Izzy go for double champ status if he decided to after Strickland, if he doesn't want to fight Dricus. You've got a rematch with Pereira again. People still want to see that. People felt like they should have had a rematch at 185. But other than that, there's no real other options for them at light heavyweight but to wait for an Ankalaev, possibly to fight the winner of this fight, or for Yuri to come back, if Yuri is even coming back. But 205 at the moment seems to be held up with a lot of issues, and I really think what they should do is they should have Ankalaev in that mix and Yuri come back later in the year and really have them fight for the title. And then the winner of that fight can fight the winner of Blachowicz and Pereira. And that's probably the best way to sort of save the 205 division, if you want to put it that way. Another thing you need to think of is, again, with the clear reason why they're not making Blachowicz versus Pereira is probably their ages as well. You can't really build them up over the next while. I think Blachowicz is about 39 or 40. Pereira's 36 or 37. They're kind of at the tail end of their careers, and I know they're still fighting well, but can you really build a champion for the next couple of years with them? I don't think so, and maybe the UFC's seen that. I think Ankalaev being a lot younger, Yuri's 30 years old, I think that's possibly the way that they're going, and this will all play out, obviously, in the next couple of months, because the first thing that needs to happen is Yuri needs to come back from his injury. Ankalaev, we'll see when he fights, who he fights. But I think the UFC, there's a reason why they didn't make this a title fight, and the Blachowicz versus Pereira title fight. And I think it's because they can't build those two for the next couple of years, and they didn't want to just put a title on somebody that they're not going to have as a champion for the next couple of years. And Yuri's done well. He's a good fighter, and obviously Ankalaev, they're both on a tear. So I think this is the reason why we're not seeing that title fight, and I think that's what's at play here. So let's see what happens in the next couple of months. Maybe they add that to the UFC 295 card. Who knows? They might even go for 5 titles on that card. But I think that's the way that they're going to go. Yeah, interesting time for the 205 division because a lot happening. And I don't know that the viewership is that big in 205. I'll be honest, I can't remember the last time I watched 205. So Ankalaev, Yuri, or the winner of Blachowicz versus Pereira, I think those are the fights that they should make.